I gotta mute the start of this shit because he got some copyright music in this.
Cool. The title. Who would have thought that I would get robbed in Chiang Mai, Thailand? Hustle's ambition. All right, let me get to the story. I went to this area. It was called Yellow Peppers or something. It's like a party district in Chiang Mai, not too far from the old town or whatever it's called, the city center. Took a taxi over there, a boat. I went over there. It was a lot of like, it was like a young white crowd mostly, or like college students. You know, it could have been some Asians mixed with white girls, white guys, a little bit of everything, but mostly kind of young. And the music they was playing, it just wasn't a vibe for me. I stayed a little while, filmed a little bit, jumped in an Uber. I think it was this night. I mean, boat, and to go home. And when they dropped me off in front of the hotel, there's those tuk-tuk trike drivers. You know, they'll have the little 3-wheel joint. And he was like, "Hey man, I could take you to a karaoke spot, real nice. I'll wait for you too." Always be leery in Asia when the boat, the moto driver, the trike, whenever they want to bring you somewhere, they're getting paid to bring you there, and it's usually somewhere that I got another regret one or.
So I want to say this. When I heard this story, I'm gonna say when I was in Asia, I did experience that the Bolt drivers and the Grab drivers were slightly trying to scam me, and I thought Asia would be a little different. I kind of see that like some people have such a good experience in some of these countries that they will sell you an idea, right? Like they'll sell you a thought about what being in a place is really like. But when I got to Thailand, a lot of Bolt drivers and Grab drivers were trying to finesse, trying to scam. No, they got paid on the app and were trying to get me to pay them in cash as well. And but it's not common, right? But overall, I felt generally safe in Thailand. Like someone ain't gonna mug you on the street the way they would in Colombia. These bikers be driving around looking for people they can just rob, right? Or snatch a phone out their hand. It doesn't really happen commonly in Thailand, but I know the biggest place you can get robbed is by going to bars. Usually I try to stay away from bars or go-go clubs. I try to just avoid purchasing liquor, period. And usually when I go somewhere, I try to make sure that if I'm ordering something, I know how much it cost and exactly what it's going to cost before I even start ordering anything, right? That's just me. When cab drivers or Uber drivers or Grab drivers try to recommend places for me to go, I just don't. If I didn't research it myself, I'm not taking your word for it because just like he said, you're probably getting paid to bring me there. So you have an incentive to tell me to go here, and I don't know if it's a setup. I don't even know where you really taking me. So it's like, yeah, nah, it ain't like you gonna drop me the address in my phone so I could look it up first before you drive there. You're gonna just start driving. So I don't really do that, right? So it's interesting to hear this from him, but I'm gonna let him tell more of his story.
Hustle's ambition, I'm gonna tell you about that too. But this one, so I'm like, cool. I was bored. I had nothing to do. I was like, maybe I could film in there. They sing the songs, that they put the songs on the screen and sing, right? But when I went in there was like, oh, you could have a room. Now the room was pretty big, and it was like you could pick like 2 girls. They could entertain you. They'll sing for you. This is not no kinky stuff. They just sing karaoke for you. So, and it was like, this, you could buy this, and that's it. Then you pay for the girl, the girls to sing. So, and gave me one. I picked 2 girls, and they gave me a 3rd girl. So they started bringing the mixes for this. It was like a cognac or something or whatever. They brought in Coca-Cola, some type of cola, and water. And then they're singing, and I'm filming them, you know. I'm filming them with my phone, and I'm like, okay, this is some cool content, you know. I could show people. So, but I noticed that, and they have a cart right near the door of the room, and I noticed the guy keep coming and opening more waters and opening more sodas, and I'm like, she's like, a girl trying to tell you, drink up, and I'm like, relax, you know what I'm saying? I sip my joint, relax. And I'm looking, so they singing, and one girl's quiet, but she looks like worried or something. I'm like, okay.
So this is the only thing that I'm not really catching from his story is, did you place these orders? Did you order anything? Did they or did you just walk in there and they just started just serving something up, right? Like, did you order anything? You know what I mean? Because that, you know, I say when you have a gut feeling about something, especially when you're in a new place or just in general, when you have a gut feeling, lean on what your gut's saying. If something looked wrong, it's probably wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering, like, did you order, like, did you think you were ordering a soda and they kind of just started serving you multiple sodas and multiple waters and just cracking them open and doing what with them? Were they giving them to each other? Were they just putting it on your table for you? Like, or you feel like, or like, did you order a bottle or something? And like, there's so much like detail I would have loved for him to really go over, just so for some of us that end up in these places, we don't fall into the same mess. You know what I mean?
So I see them, the dude in the door keep, and I'm like, yo, they were literally, they had opened a half dozen or more colas and waters, and it wasn't even that many of us in the room, and I definitely wasn't drinking no colas and no waters. And I'm like, why do they keep opening up all these, you know? And the girl, this girl was like the mama san to the girls, even though she was pretty and young. She was a little older than them, and she kept trying to drink, and I said, damn, I feel like I'm getting scammed, right? So after about maybe 10-15 minutes, I like, yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to go. And I should have known, because before I bought the bottle and sat in the room, I went to the bathroom. But the girl like followed me to the bathroom, like if I was going to leave. And I'm like, so I go out of the room into the main floor. Like, you come in, there's a bar, there's some tables, and then there are rooms. And I see two white guys and shit, and then they're like, we're going to give you your bill, but you got to go back inside the room. I was like, why do I have to go inside the room to get my bill? And they was like, you got to go inside the room. And I'm like, I'm not going back inside the room. I was like, damn, I'm in some shit. You know, I'm in some shit. I didn't know how much shit I was in, but I'm in some shit. So they keep telling me, and the girl's like, go inside the room. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not going inside the room, period. And the white guys are like looking like, what's going on? So they bring me the bill, right? Now, the bill is $900, or maybe a little more, something. It's $900. And I said,
so this story gets a little scary. I was reading some of his comments earlier about some of these people getting got. Recently just had a friend get got in Thailand too, where the bill is way more than what could possibly or conceivably make sense. And they do this shit in a lot of tourist traps, where they try to basically get you to overpay on this bill. And if you don't, they're going to commit violence against you. And I've heard some people have lost their life over this stuff, right? Now, I don't really know what the best course of action would have been for him, because a lot of people are going to try to recommend what he could have did, what he should have did. But I've met Zoe. I've spent time with Zoe. He's an experienced traveler, a lot of knowledge. If he can find himself in a situation like this, what makes you think you couldn't find yourself in a similar situation? It doesn't matter how much game you have or how much knowledge you have. Some instances, this can happen to you if you're just not on point, which to me, it seemed like he was on point. He just unfortunately was on point a little bit too late. He was on point after the sodas and water started getting cracked open. For me, I walk into a spot, I feel the energy, I look at the prices of things, and if I'm not feeling it, I walk out. I don't even sit there at all. I don't care if I just got here. If I'm not feeling the energy, I'm like, nah, I feel like they're going to try to get us in here, man. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to not even, or I just tell them, hey, like, I'm not drinking. I'll come in here. Hey, like, you got a water. I'll start off with a water and see how you handle the bill with a water before I even start ordering alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you're on vacation, you're not supposed to always be on point. But the unfortunate thing is when you're in these countries and they don't have any money and you're American, right? They're always going to try to figure out a way to try to finesse you. It just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. So,
are you effing kidding me? And they be like, that's your bill. And I'm like, I'm not paying that shit. You fucking kidding me? And so we go back and forth. And the girl's like, you got to go in the room. We could talk about it in the room. And I'm like, I'm not going in the fucking room. So literally, the bouncers, the hostess, the guy popping I mean, everybody grabbed me and basically dragged me back into the room.
now that would have set me off. I'm happy to not be in any of these situations. Somebody grabbing me and forcing me into a room would have set me off, and I immediately would have started throwing hands. Almost immediately. I don't even think I would have waited. I'm way too paranoid for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know me, I always keep something on me if these hands don't work. So it's like it would have got to that point almost instantaneously. And I think for his case, I think he handled the situation the best that he possibly could. Right, which he's going to go into what it is that he did and staying chill and staying calm. Because other people in that situation, it would have been a fight. It would have been an automatic fight.
And they was like, you got to pay this bill. You know what I'm saying? They said it like you pay this bill, you're going to get your ass whipped. Now, if I was probably with one more person, I probably would have got my ass whipped, because if me and the person was like, nah, we ain't paying it, we would have got our ass whipped. But I was by myself. So I paid with my credit card, right?
Yeah, that's when I'm busting out the Muay Thai. I'm busting out the Muay Thai almost instantly. You better let me out this door, bro. I'm out of here. Nope. I'm not paying it. It's not happening. If y'all don't got no guns and y'all don't have no knives, y'all gonna have to stomp me out in this bitch, because I'm not paying a goddamn thing. It's just not happening. Now, he says if he was with one more person that they would have got their ass whooped. Maybe there was like 20 people there, but I honestly think the reason they even felt confident to grab him up is because it was one guy. If this was a group of guys there, 2 or 3, I don't think they would have tried that shit. But then again, I can't say that because I wasn't there. I don't know who's there. I know Thai people are not scared to throw down or get down. I just don't expect them to extort you for money. I don't really expect that, but I'm not overly shocked, right? We've seen this happen in Medellin. You know, you go to them clubs and parquilleras, they give you a bill, right? And because a lot of these places don't see a lot of business, they don't try to do honest, good business. They just get to straight extortion mode. You order 4 shots, your bill $2,500. How and why? Hey, bro, we're not about to explain why your bill is that. That's your bill. You pay that. We're about to have 4 of these guys put the beats on you right now. And there's been, a lot of people have gotten arrested in those clubs for beating up tourists and things like that. So, it's like, if you don't know, you don't know. I was fortunate enough to go through this situation with a huge group of guys one time. And it wasn't even really that they like head cracked us over the bill. We just realized that the prices in these little spaces is never going to be what they show us. I never even bothered walking in some of these locations. And then I started learning, that they do stuff like this. They grab you. They try to do the whole intimidation factor to get you to pay and things like that. So I think he handled it well in terms of just what he did. Because if he was a hothead, that could have gotten really bad for him.
And then they tried to straighten my shirt out, because they had wrinkled my shirt, and they tried to straighten I'm like, I gave him the credit card. I went outside, and I couldn't believe, like, I got punked in Chiang Mai. Now, Chiang Mai is supposed to be the city with the most temples. It's supposed to be the laid back, cool. I mean, I never had a problem like nothing.
Yeah, and hearing that this happened to him in Chiang Mai, I was like, damn, that sounds like a place I could go to become a Shaolin monk, not a place where they about to all jump me if I don't pay that extortion tax.
Never had no problem, and I've been to Koh Samui, I've been to Phuket, I've been, Bangkok. I've been to at least 6 cities in Thailand, right? Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. So I go outside and I call my credit card company. I walk up the street a little bit. I cancel the card. So I don't know if they got the money or not, but I canceled the card. I explained to them the situation. By the time I got another tuk-tuk that was going back down the street to head to my hotel, they were pulling the gate down on that spot. So they got their money for the day, I guess. Like, they was like, I don't know if they do it every day or what. And it surprised me. They was gangster. They did it to a brother. So you imagine what they would have did to them white boys. But
listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Them Thai people do not care where you from, bro. I watched a video of a Brooklyn chick I met out there in Thailand get absolutely stomped by one of them Thai chicks in Pattaya. Straight up obliterated, kicked, beat up. Okay, they be willing to beat each other ass. So, and been doing Muay Thai since they came out the womb. First day out they moms, nigga, they hitting the pads, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they not playing over there. But yeah, I think either way, I think he handled that the right way. Put it on your credit card, cancel it, or do a chargeback or something. You know what I mean? And kind of just, break down the fraud and what happened and things like that, and try to get your money. And they're going to run the dispute with the credit card company or the bank. The only thing I didn't like he said was that they made him delete the footage in his phone. I don't know if he was also forced to delete it from recently deleted or if he was able to recover some of that content. I would have been sending that shit to my Telegram once they started telling me, I bet, I'm gonna delete it because who knows if he would have had to use that as evidence to get his money back. But man, y'all just got to be careful, man. This is not one of those situations where you should have been more street smart, bro. This could happen to anybody, bro. Some people will have the audacity, bro. You feel me? Like, you could go into a restaurant that's a nice restaurant. You order food. You see it's 1,000 baht on the menu. You order only that and a glass of water. Your bill is 20,000 baht. And now you got 5 guys come out in suits and brass knuckles telling you that you're gonna pay that or they're gonna whoop your ass. It's like, bro, what could you have done better in that situation? I've heard of these scams happening inside of Japan. People go into real establishments and still be getting scammed like that. Like, you really can't do anything besides do what he did or fight. That's really it. Like, it's really just that. You gonna do what he did or you gonna fight. For me personally, the unfortunate situation is I'm going to fight. I'm like, nigga, I am not paying you that, bro. It's not happening. I don't care what. I don't think the level of extent I'm willing to fight over the fact that I'm not giving you this $900. And it's not even about the money. It's the principle. Like, I'm not walking out of this shit knowing that you guys just took $900 from me, cracking open a bunch of Coca-Colas and waters that I didn't drink, and now I'm being charged for that. But for me, thank God, I have the sixth sense and the foresight to foresee something like this most of the time. And that's why I have a very strict process of how I even order things when I go to new clubs and bars. Show me the menu. How much is it going to cost? One drink is going to be this. Okay. And I'm going to pay for that shit right there. There's no open tab. I don't do that open tab shit. I close my tab. I've learned a couple things. When you're with some fellas and you with some girls, some of these girls, especially when they're in the flow of work mode, they will literally go to the guy and order something without your permission. And because some of those places literally don't really care or have courtesy for you, they'll just go and get the drink for the girl without actually consenting with the person paying because they're in cahoots together. Okay. Or you'll pay for something and they'll give your change to the girl because they're in cahoots together. So it's like you almost got to be very demanding, straightforward, clear cut. Was like, all right, we don't really have any room to scam this guy, right? So let us try to upsell him rather than just, oh, well, you're sitting here, crack soda, crack water, 2 shots that you didn't order, like, you know what I mean? So got to be careful. But I try to close my tab right then and there. I don't even play those games at all with people. That's why I don't like going out with new guys or getting share sections with guys that don't have no sense. They just start ordering shit, and now we have 4 bottles, and this girl for some reason wants to order a fucking martini. For whatever reason she wants to order one. Doesn't consult with nobody, doesn't say nothing to nobody, just goes over and orders a martini, and there's 4 bottles and everybody pouring up shots, and she want to get her own glass. Yeah, a chick like that, shorty, no, and you got to get out my section. And you going to pay for that martini. We not paying for that. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, man. Obviously, this wasn't really one of those situations, but still, he probably has some girl trying to, oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just go in the room. Nah. You guys have to realize when you're being lying, bro. Catch it. Fortunately for him, he came out of there with his faculties intact, right? He wasn't attacked. No hands were put on him. He is a lucky story. Other people have died. Okay, other people have died being in these situations. So this is an unfortunate situation to be in, period. Right? But some of you guys that are like quick to jump on this story and talk about how dumb he is, or I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like when you've been long time traveling and you've been having good luck and things been going good for you, especially in a place like Thailand, you're not really expecting something like this to happen. You know what I mean? So this is something that I would expect in South America.
Yeah, that was crazy. So basically I got punked or robbed in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And everybody said, oh, Thailand is safe. Shit happens everywhere. Hustler's Ambition, International Zone.
Yeah, man.